first start juggling?
Oh man. I was 16 in high school. And I was skateboarding. And I was introduced to juggling, and it hurt a lot less. So I stuck with that.
Nice. What makes juggling enjoyable for you?
Oh man. It used to be I had no responsibility, and it was a lot easier to just have it as my hobby, to be outside and to be interactive and a way to talk to people and break the ice and play and learn. And now it's become somewhat of a therapy for me, and I get it I only get it on Monday nights. It's good.
What other things do you juggle in your life?
Oh well, I got a wonderful family, wonderful wife and 2 daughters. And I have my own job. I work as a plumber. I have my own plumbing company. Yeah, those are good things to juggle.
So, do you have any structure to your practice sessions?
More so in the past than anymore, but yes.
Okay, so what would you say your past structures have been?
If I was practicing balls, to progressively go from 3 to 7 in a practice, which might last 30 minutes. And when I'm getting into the more numbers, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I think about my body a lot and my alignment and not moving while I'm doing it. So it's more controlled.
Yeah.
But when I'm juggling 3 balls, it's more fluid.
Do you have any juggling goals at the moment?
To maintain, with the other things that I'm juggling, family and career, it's a matter of maintaining this as a hobby and holding on to the skill level I had at some sense, or at least the passion for learning that.
So, when did you first start juggling?
1989 is when I learned.
What caused you to, or what
I got a gift
interested you?
certificate to a bookstore and bought a book called The Complete Juggler, and it came with 3 scarves on the book. And then I found out about the MIT Juggling Club. I grew up outside of Boston, and then started hanging out with those guys, and that really is when I took off. Yeah.
Cool. What makes juggling enjoyable for you?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know if it is enjoyable. Well, in all seriousness, it's hanging out with really different creative people, and the idea of someone's always the best in the room, and there's always something you can do better than everyone else, and someone's always better than you at something in the room. So there's no shortage of goals to set and achieve and work for, and there's no shortage of frustration. Seriously.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of challenge.
Cool. So what are other things that you juggle in your life?
I juggle. I only have 2 kids, so that's out. And I was not the first person to juggle my daughter. I was at a juggling festival, and Tony Duncan came up and said, "She's just the right size." And I said, "Okay, go ahead." So I didn't juggle my daughter for the first time either, but for my son, I did juggle him before anyone else. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any structure to your practice sessions?
When I do, when I keep to it, yeah. So, I try to have a warm-up thing just to get the blood flowing and to get my hands catching a little up to speed. And then I try to drill tricks that are 80 to 90% of the way, just push a little farther. And then once that's feeling good, I stretch a little bit and go for the tricks that aren't there yet and learn a little bit. And then I finish by reviewing some older stuff, if I still have it in me.
Cool.
Generally, but not always.
Do you have any juggling goals at the moment?
to be as good a juggler as I was 10 years ago. And that probably won't ever happen again. But yeah, no, there's a couple goals that I never quite got from back then that because I stopped practicing regularly, they slipped away. Now it's fighting losing skills, not learning new ones as much. But.
So, when did you start juggling?
I started juggling in 1984. I was 13 years old.
What caused you to start juggling?
I saw a juggling show on the street and it looked like fun. I wanted to learn how to do that.
What makes juggling enjoyable for you?
Oh, that's easy. There's always something new to challenge myself with or get better at or a new trick. Yeah, there's always a new challenge. It's like an endless, bottomless well.
Cool. Do you have any structure to your practice sessions?
Nope. No, they're very kind of stream of consciousness in terms of what I'm working on, what I want to strengthen. I often will practice very familiar stuff just to kind of get the energy moving. But no like pattern, like this is the way it happens every time.
Cool. Do you have any juggling goals at the moment?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I want to learn 5 clubs. That's been humbling and kicking my butt. So yeah, it's a good challenge.
So, when did you first start juggling?
I started juggling when I knew how to juggle 3 balls for as long as I could remember, but I started training seriously in junior and senior year in high school.
What makes juggling so enjoyable for you?
Because unlike a lot of sports, no set rules. So if I want to change things out and throw a different way, or change an object around, or add a ball, or subtract a ball, there's a lot of freedom in that. And that not only is athletic and sporty, it's at the same time it's stimulating to create something.
What other things do you juggle in your life?
In my life? Well, I have 3 kids, I live in a house, dogs, I drive a minivan. So aside from this weird juggling thing, I'm pretty much a normal person.
Nice. Do you have a structure to your practice sessions?
I am very structured in my practice sessions. I have split it into thirds. Part of it is for structured work, develop routines, running routines I do in performance team music. One is developing new routines, so I'm actually creating structures for tricks and one is more broad development, where I might have a new prop and I'm actually experimenting, trying to build a vocabulary with that prop. Of course, it runs in the world.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any juggling goals at the moment?
I have usually 4 or 5 things in development at any time. So right now I'm co-developing these with my parents. I'm also working on another child rigs involving some sculptures by Alexander Calder and putting them into a manipulation piece using gimbals. I'm also working on some other crazy work involving large spheres that I'm manipulating in my arms. So yeah, always something new.
So when did you first start juggling?
When I was 13 years old.
Nice.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. What caused you to start juggling?
Well, I figured I had to juggle 2 balls with one hand. Or actually, they were oranges.
Nice. So what makes juggling enjoyable for you?
Oh, well, it beats working for a living. Anything beats working for a living.
What other things do you juggle in your life?
Well, maybe I should get into the other meanings of juggling. As far as I'm concerned, juggling is juggling. I am not going to talk about taxes.
Do you have a structure to your practice sessions?
Well, you just saw my notebook. You weren't paying close attention to it. And, I write down everything that I do, and numbers of half cycles, or usually it's half cycles, sometimes throws or whatever.
Cool. Do you have any juggling goals at the moment?
Well, having some problems with certain tricks that I've been doing for a long time. And my goal is to continue to be able to do my tricks no matter how old and decrepit I get.
I don't know. I started juggling when I was 10-ish. My dad, who's here, taught me how to juggle. And he was a member of the Jugglers Club, so he brought me to the Jugglers Club every once in a while. And I also learned from your parents, Jamie. A mixture between my dad and your parents taught me how to juggle through at the spring thing and fall playing folk song society events.
Awesome. What makes juggling enjoyable for you?
As a kid, I think it was just really satisfying to be able to perform these cool tricks and to challenge myself to do these interesting things and practice something and get better at it. I don't know exactly. I think I was really interested in object manipulation. Like I started off as a baton twirler, so something about manipulating things made me really happy. And now it's just this cool art form that you can use to connect with other people as a cool community.
What other things do you juggle in your life?
In my life, I do aerials and tight wire, a little bit of unicycle learning, and performing, telling jokes.
Nice. Oh yeah. Do you have a structure to your practice sessions?
Nope, I don't practice enough. I practice when I'm here at Jugglers Club, and every once in a while at home I'll practice. Normally my practice sessions are like, I practice one thing for about 10 minutes until I get bored of it, and then I move to this other thing that I should also practice. So I practice in like little chunks, which is how I used to practice as a kid too. I would like go out into my driveway and like do devil sticks for 10 minutes, and then get bored with that, and do Diablo, and then juggle, and then switch back to keep it interesting.
Cool. Do you have any juggling goals at the moment?
I haven't worked on it at all, but I would like to learn how to juggle 5 balls. I haven't worked on it. Learn how to ride a unicycle better. And learn how to do the box better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. When did you first start juggling?
I tried juggling unsuccessfully when I was 10 and gave it up. And then when I was 41, I picked it up with the help of a guy named Dave Gillis, who showed me how to juggle. It took me about 3 minutes to learn how, and I've never looked back.
Great. What makes juggling enjoyable for you?
The camaraderie, the intellectual challenge, the various patterns which are available, which is, they're a challenge, but then the permutations when you start mixing patterns together are endless. And that appeals to me intellectually. That just whoa, this is fun.
Great. So, what other things do you juggle in your life?
What other things do I juggle in my life? Well, of course, my family. We have 4 grandchildren. We have 2 daughters, 2 sons-in-law. We have a wife. She has several brothers and a stepfather. We had a lot of cousins and so forth. Getting along with all of them, keeping up with them, that's fun.
Do you have a structure to your practice sessions?
I do. I include 3 different segments. I play music, and I juggle, and I lift weights every day.
Great.
10 minutes for each one in the morning and 10 minutes for each one in the evening. And that harkens back to when I was learning how in my 40s. I juggled 10 minutes a day, both the harp and juggling for 5 years, and I didn't miss a day.
Wow.
But some days 10 hours of harp or 10 hours of juggling was wonderful.